The movie is an excellent choice for those who believes on the darkest side of devilish beliefs. The birth of Antichrist is the mystery to the world, but this movie will give you some real thoughtful shocks on these religious beliefs. This is a sequel of Omen series, and you'll be equally stunned by the glorifying yet horror scenes of this movie. The movie begins with Father Brennan greeting with another priest. He has committed serious sin. Asking Father Brennan to see a picture of a girl, this priest obliges. The girl was strange in the picture. The priest inquires Father Brennan that if this girl was born abnormally. Father Brennan gets lost in thoughts and flashbacks of a female appear in his mind. The female was naked, and black stuff coated her eyes. Before she could do anything, some mysterious group of nuns start performing rituals on her. Abruptly, someone yells from her abdomen, and he realizes himself in front of the priest. He is about to tell Father Brennan about that little girl in the picture, but a pole behind him broke and struck into a mirror. The priest dies when the same pole gets stuck in his skull and divides his skull into two. After a long time, we see Rome in 1971. In Rome, there were protests for civil rights. Sister Margaret takes and swears to become a nun in Rome. She does this from the United States. She had to swear in front of everyone that she would always be a nun. Margaret is taken by two priests who work in a shelter. Cardinal Lawrence was one of them. He was just as happy to see Margaret. When she goes to the home, she sees that most of the girls live there. Two sisters meet her and take her to her room at the home. After that, she meets Carlita. Carlita had an odd look. The scary drawing she made was a strange behavior. Margaret sees that she drew a girl screaming on the bed with nuns all around her. Since Carlita began kissing Margaret while she was standing, this is so weird. Although she has been saved by the sisters, but Carlita is truly not normal. Margaret tries to mingle with her new friends and greets her roommates. Her roommate is a savage who leaves the orphanage secretly at nights. Because she knows the rules of being a nun, but she can't stop her imaginations to come true. In other words, she liked life and parties. Soon Margaret loves living here. But every day she had strange things happening to her. In this orphanage, she had strange dreams. She thinks the things or ghosts she used to see here are just imaginations. Margaret learns the language and habits of this place while she lives here. She gets along with the kids. She sees that Carlita, her new friend from the first day, doesn't get along with other girls. She was locked in her room most of the time. She was kept away from other people for treatment because she believes to have bad habits of calling names and seeing things. Hence, she is considered mentally unstable. Margaret found out everything from Carlita's friends. Margaret was shocked that Carlita is of age 12, didn't look anything like these kids. She looked like a big adult girl. Her roommate is getting ready for a party. She forces Margaret to go to the party. She got ready for the party and take her in the super hot outfit. They have a good time here. She had the first drink of life. After having a drink, she dances with a boy. While dancing, she tries to lick the boy's face, like how Carlita licked. After that, she falls asleep. She was in bed when she woke up. What happened at night scared her. Her friend tells her not to worry about it. There were nothing wrong last night, and she was taken back to the room safely. She had no memories of the night. She didn't feel good, though. She felt bad about herself. She shouldn't have drunk in the first place. She also apologizes for her mistakes. She meets Father Brennan at a different place than orphanage. He tells Margaret not to trust the girls who live with her. Also, he advises her to not to talk to Carlita. He asks about Sienna, a girl from a shelter. Margaret jolts her memory and says that Sienna is not a real person, but she knew that Carlita had drawn Sienna in the drawing. Hence, she remains confused about Carlita, but Father Brennan leaves with a calling card. He assures that she can talk to him about anything. In spite of what he said, she gets closer to Carlita at the shelter, because she felt bad for Carlita. She saw that Carlita didn't talk to any charity nuns. Her room was always dark and scary. Carlita tells Margaret that during the meetings, she sees scary things. Margaret tries to calm and console her. She exclaims that these scary flashbacks haunt her too, but they always have to end. Carlita feels warmth and closure with her. A lot of crying voices could be heard in the orphanage while they were talking. Suddenly, Margaret finds a girl who is giving birth. Margaret saw a demon's hand leave her body instead of the birth of child. After watching this, she passes out from fear. Margaret also wondered who the boys' fathers were if all the girls living in the home were single. Being scared of everything, she goes to see the priest, St. Cardinal Lawrence. She doesn't get the straight answers, but she is still trying to find the truth. After that, she goes to the backyard of the home, where the girls are playing with the nuns. It was strange that nuns and kids liked to smoke cigarettes. They didn't get stopped. She sees a lady talking to Carlita in secret. She also draws something for her. When Margaret runs up to Carlita, she has the drawing in her hand. A picture showed a girl who was carrying a child. There were nuns all around her. Hence, her drawing made things worse for her when the sister forbade her to talk to Margaret. Although while she talked, the sister kissed her on the face. No one sees her do this, and they don't even feel it awkward. The sister who kissed her then puts gasoline on herself on top of the home. She laughed at Margaret and Carlita in a creepy way. "This is for both of you," she says. She burns to death. There is chaos all over the home. After seeing this, even Carlita and Margaret were sad. Margaret remembers that Father Brennan warned her to be careful after seeing so many strange things at this shelter. To solve the orphanage riddle, she goes to see Father Brennan. The priest tells Margaret to stay away from Carlita because she is the Antichrist. It means she doesn't believe in Jesus. She puts our religion at risk. The church and school have been secular for a long time. It sounds like they want to destroy Christianity. This is a threat to everyone. Margaret was given the same picture which was shown in the beginning of the movie. Father Brennan spit out some facts about Sina. He mentions the priest from the start of the movie. This is where Sina was shot. That priest wanted to tell Father Brennan about this strange boy, but Brennan didn't know much about a mysterious boy. However, they will know soon. Hence, Margaret is given this job by Father Brennan. He tells her to look into Sina, the strange girl from the picture, so we can stop their bad plans. Father Brennan wants her help. Margaret did not believe what Father Brennan said. Still, she makes a promise to Father Brennan. She agreed to do what Father Brennan asked because she wanted to know Carlita's past. The next day, while on a field trip with all the kids, Margaret asks the new charity priest about Carlita. The priest didn't know much about her past when she was asked about it. The sisters are asked to keep an eye on Margaret. They are always watching, so they couldn't talk. Carlita hides in a room when these people come back to the orphanage. Margaret asks her about her life. Margaret follows her and sees that Carlita had the sister's soul, or the ghost of the sister who died in front of them with the gasoline and hanging. She is scared to see this. When she screams, another sister takes her away. The civil rights movement in Rome was getting stronger. Outside, there were riots. There were fires everywhere. Margaret put their home in danger due to her chasing the truth. She also didn't want to stay, so she rushes out. She is pulled from behind after leaving the shelter. We didn't see anyone here. Someone from behind is pulling her. Only the nun who works with the children can feel the devilish entity. After a sister meeting, this sister tells Margaret to leave the home. She is forbidden to get near to Clarita ever again. You can't swear like a nun because you lack mental health. Margaret is furious with her sister and tells her, "You're hurting Carlita, not me." She is very angry when she leaves the shelter again and suddenly sees the boy she danced with in the club. She is super scared of him and frequently asks him, "What happened to me that night? Did I hurt you?" The boy doesn't care about her and tells her to find the devil mark. In the meantime, he is dead in a terrible accident. He seems like killed by an invisible devilish power. Margaret gets mad, so she goes to church to ask God to forgive her. She was here to take vows for the sister, but today one of her mates was becoming a nun. While everyone is busy, Margaret sneaks into the orphanage's secret room to get Sina's files. The same file that Father Brennan told her to bring, but 14 Sina files were found. There is an indication of 666, the devil mark, on every file. They had 14 girls. They were born at 6 a.m. on June 6. Most of these girls died, but Carlita Sina, who is at number 14, lived. She finds out that Sina, 14, and Carlita, 12, were both born 12 years ago. Margaret now knew why Carlita seemed so grown up to other kids. She's the daughter of the devil. Carlita, 14, was locked in her room by the school because form said she should not be near other kids. Because she is the Antichrist. Margaret knew a lot, but she still had a lot of questions. She runs away with Carlita and all of this paperwork, but the nuns see her. Carlita screamed while running, and Margaret saw the 666 mark in her mouth. This proved that Carlita is Sienna 14 and the devil's daughter. Margaret was locked up in a different room and dreams about a bad girl. In her fear, she wakes up, and the same bloody girl from her dream appears in front of her. Margaret is yelling a lot, but the church priests calm her down and take her to Father Brennan. Fr. Brennan holds Margaret and Sienna's files. Margaret tells Father Brennan that Carlita has a 666 mark in her mouth, despite your claim that girls have horrible signs. It appears Father Brennan failed to recognize Carlita in the picture. Thus, another woman is the devil. Father Brennan saw that the information was insufficient. Devil's Group shelter staff lied to him. The real Sienna was hidden. Father Brennan saves Margaret and Carlita from betrayers. When they arrive, the orphanage is deserted. Nuns and children were gone. Margaret discovers Sienna's files in a hidden room. Father Brennan arrives. He finds Sienna's photo. The 666 is on her. It suggests Carlita was not the girl Father Brennan was looking for in the photo. So Antichrist is another female. Father Brennan now recognizes this girl as Sienna. She is Antichrist. Father Brennan goes to the secret area to interrupt the ritual. After reaching the secret place, they find all the nuns and children bound up. Sienna, the middle girl, is tied up. The odd thing was that she was another girl, not Carlita. She was the Antichrist. Father Brennan tries to stop the ritual, but they attack him. Father Brennan dies in this fight. Margaret flees, but the nuns catch her. She is taken to the ritual site. Her and the other kids are tied here. Carlita was also involved, which was surprising. She looked terrified. Satan's chief arrives and begins the rite. Everyone prays to the devil in this rite. Sienna changes after this prayer. She becomes completely evil. Margaret soon learns of the conspiracy and that she is one of the children of the demonic god of these orphans, forcibly produced as a potential mother for the Antichrist, and suddenly pregnant before June 6. The nuns and cardinal she trusted at her Roman orphanage helped the animalistic monster sexually attack her. All transpired on a club and party night. It was preplanned, and she was the daughter of the movie's opening mother. For giving birth to its Antichrist, the church has punished countless girls, because they seek to scare people into religion. Clarita was tested to give birth to their Antichrist, but Margaret was older and would work better. She is the Antichrist mother and taken to the orphanage strategically. Margaret gives birth in these conditions. After having twins, a boy and a girl, the orphanage sister orders her followers to burn down Margaret's and her daughter's home. They take her son Damien, whom Margaret couldn't kill, to Washington, D.C., and give him to the family they bullied into adopting him. They chose an affluent family to raise their Antichrist. The first Omen's climactic twist saves Margaret and her kid from the flames. After 5 years, Father Brennan finds them and reveals their calm life with their savior Carlita, another of the church's planned offspring and probable Antichrist mother. At the funeral of his adopted parents with the President and First Lady, the evil church faction fulfilled their purpose. If you like this movie, then don't forget to like and subscribe the channel.